go. Here we 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 go. What's going on, everybody? This is the Blockchain Backer bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. How are we all doing today on this Wednesday morning? I've been hanging out in the chat with you guys, just kind of seeing what you all have to say. I saw that super chat come in from Trucker Bob. Thank you. That is not necessary, guys. I do appreciate it. I know a lot of people want to try to get with their message in front of me, but just let me kind of run through my content, and then I do go through the chat to try to see what you guys have to say. So let's kind of get diving in real quick. On these live streams, I always like to give acknowledgement to the people who support my channel right out the gate. So I know you guys, the people who are watching the replay of the stream, are probably like, hey, man, let's get into the content. But you know what? This is important for me. So I'm going to go ahead and acknowledge the people who are members of my channel. And I want to thank you for your support. And that's going to be Lord Jim, Shane Wilson, Wigmapool 182, Susie Kusia, Dual Citizen, David Devine, Mr. VH, Iosif Marius Dimitru, Linda Lebanon, Christopher Go, Dustin Deo, Paul Zaras, Stuart Given, Chris Long, Doc Gold, Bobby V, Keep Food Fresh Longer, Peter Fengel, Bill Cronley, John Bushland, Corey SPR89, Forrest Rawl, Brian White, Eric Turwin, Vlad Pon Czar, Drew Duraco, Nelson Diaz, Sean Bizzle, Stuart McCluskey, Mojo, The Ruticles, Cinetic, Crypto Dracula, Mega Marklar, Freaky Biggles, XRP Aussie, Stuffin' Things 99, Jason Nance, Arthur DeVrome, One Frog Boy 1, Kim Schneider, Sunny, Jana Thompson, Jim McQuart, I am K1R, Ryan Mitchell, OO Rocks, Owen, Matic, Pogo Relic, and Mike Palumbo. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. And then there's Joshua Roberts with a super chat of $5 and no message. Well, thank you very much. That's very kind of you. So, okay, we kind of got a lot of that stuff out of the way. We've got people piling in now. We were up to 376 people live in the stream. So I see you guys all in the chat. You guys are great. I'm not ignoring you. Man, I appreciate you guys just being super active in there. And man, give me a few minutes here to run through this content, and then we will start hanging out and chilling. And then Color for Crypto coming in as a new member of the channel. Thank you very much, Color for Crypto. You rock. Thank you very much. But okay, we're now a few minutes into this thing. So almost 3 minutes into this. Let's start diving into some of the content here. So right now, we've been talking about this price level for going on about, let's see, we could just count the number of bars there, 10 bars now. So 10 days we've been talking about this 18-cent level holding. Obviously, we're stuck under the 50-day moving average, and we're just seeing whether or not this 18-cent level is going to hold and whether or not we're going to break out to the upside. So I've kind of have the two targets picked out on where I would expect price to go if we do end up breaking down, and then if we do end up breaking to the upside. Now to the upside, obviously that's just a first level resistance. It can clearly go much, 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 much higher, but that's the first resistance level I'd really be looking for. And then to the downside, I'd be looking for that level to hold if we did break down to near that 15 to 14.5 cent level. Wow, Richard, that's an amazing super chat. Thank you so much. That's very kind. That's crazy. So right now it's still been in this pause and hold thing, which we've been talking about for a week. So I was kind of like, man, are we really just going to make another video today and say the same thing again? So I figured I'd just come hang out with you guys. If you had questions about it, we can all just kind of talk about it. But yeah, that's where we're at. We're looking at whether or not we're going to hold that level and break to the upside and clear that 50-day moving average, or whether or not we're going to break down and consolidate a little bit longer. Looking over at Bitcoin. So here, this is the XRP Tony Stark. During our actual bull run, what percentage retracement later can be expected as we hit the various fib lines? Well, we could talk about that, and I can promise you when we get there, I'll point those out as the time comes. And by the way, man, I was looking for your message on Twitter. It's gone. Is your Twitter still there? I couldn't find it, man. And thank you so much for all your support, Tony Stark. But yeah, your Twitter message is gone. Is your Twitter profile still up? So, okay, let's dive in here. This is the Bitcoin chart, and this is the stock market chart on the right. The E-mini Dow Jones is what I like to use because you get more data. You get the futures in there, so it's not just what's happening during trading hours. It also includes, futures trading in there. And I know it's never the popular videos that I make when I start comparing the stuff to the stock market. Nobody really likes it, and I can't really go with what's popular or what's liked and what's not liked. I just got to show you what I'm seeing, and it's very clearly obvious. Even on the short time frame, we're seeing correlation between the stock market and the crypto market right now. You can look at that. You could see that in the relative strength. You could see that in the MACD, and of course, you could see that on the price structures that they are all correlated with each other at this time. So right now, it's really just a real difficult thing to be able to predict how is this bottoming formation going to play out. The Dow Jones did not hit the target that I expected it to get all the way down to. It ended up bottoming in there around 8,200, 80 or 18,100 around there. And I really was expecting down into the 16,000, so it hasn't really gotten down in there. But also at the same time, it bounced much higher than I expected it to bounce. Thank you guys so much with the super chats. I'll get right back to them. Um, so we've bounced much higher, but clearly looking at the stock market, it's starting to look like a bull flag. But at this time too, it's also like, man, it's gotten so high, or starting to look like a bear flag, and it's getting so high. I mean, it's really starting to look kind of like a V bottom, isn't it? And that's really what I had been discussing before, the media started saying we're looking for a V bottom. I mean, it's true, we really are. Whether or not, look, you could be seeing some type of head and shoulders going on right here. What if we're coming back to test this neckline and go up? So figuring out this bottoming pattern on the stock market on whether or not it's going to fill gaps, because there's gaps way down here. If we're not on, let's see, let's go over to this one right here. This is the actual Dow Jones during trading hours. Look at the gaps that are left in here. There are certainly gaps left on this chart to get filled. So pretty difficult on the stock market, but in figuring out how that bottoming pattern is, and it's the same thing with crypto. It's going to be just as difficult figuring out how is this bottoming pattern going to play out. Is it going to just grind its way up with the V bottom, or is it going to come back down into this level? This is something I had talked about. I think it was in yesterday's video. This is the on the left side. We've got the correction that played out for Bitcoin during 2014, 15, 16. And then over on the right side of the screen, we have the Altcoin Market Cap chart. And you can see the correlations between the two and how they all played out. And you can see that it made a big fall down, big bounce up, then rolled over, and then grinded underneath this level or right around this level, and then finally capitulated, which is what we had here, right? We had this big break up and then this grind out down here and then capitulated. Then you could see that the Bitcoin chart had the Wyckoff accumulation with a really big, hard hit down right here, which we have here. Big, hard hit right down here. Now let's compare something too that we didn't talk about yesterday, is that let's kind of zoom in on this level of where it went. So it obviously did wick way down here, but for the most part, it was kind of holding this level right here with some wicking coming in, right? So kind of, this bottom and this bottom was really kind of the support level that it held, while it did have 1 day, 2 days where it did kind of wick down below. This was the main support level that really held it up. And then we look back over here, over onto the altcoin market cap chart, and we could see that kind of the same thing, right? We could see that we did dip down below it with some big wicks, but for the most part, this is the kind of level that really held it. And then if we are kind of still in accumulation phase, you could see this big slam down. You could see this big slam down. If we are still going to accumulate longer, you would assume that this red zone would be the hold level. If we were to break below this level and go set new lows, which we did not, right? We did not set new lows. Just like back here, we did not set new lows. However, it did wick down below this one, right? Which is what we have here, wicking down below, but it didn't set new lows. So if we are going to continue the accumulation, you would think that this level that held back here, which we were only able to really wick below, is the level that will still hold it, which means that there would be approximately about a 20% range that we could range in for a little while before we started really grinding up. Whether or not we're even going to come down to that level right now is unknown. If we do get into this level, I will accumulate some more. Again, that's not trading advice. That's just what I would be doing. So that's just me. But I am looking at this level being the final accumulation when we look at this thing. And I hope you guys can see it too. Obviously, we did come way up higher. There was big swings in this, but it's still overall the same structure. I know people are looking for like 6, 8, 10 cent XRP. Maybe that's possible, but I just don't see it. And for me, for those prices to break down like that would mean that XRP has significantly lower to go. So I really want to see that at least on this altcoin market cap, that this low is actually in. And I want to see that this is the final accumulation zone if it even comes down here. As for the XRP market cap chart, which we've talked about plenty of times, obviously time is still ticking and we have not had this move up like we did in the past. So this is based on the amount of time. So I know a lot of people have seen me talk about this, but for those who haven't yet, this is the amount of time it took for on the XRP market cap chart for the bear market to consolidate and then start the 2017 bull run. As of right now, when we look at our time, you can see that we kind of missed this move up if this move up was still supposed to happen. And as for the really big move ups in this formation, well, tomorrow's the deadline. At least the next 4 days. If we don't have something really big happen within the next 4 days, we can kind of count the timing out on this whole thing. As for the dollar, it's similar to like what we were looking at with the Bitcoin dominance. I expected that this bump up in the dollar would get us up into this zone. It did not get us up into this zone, and this is kind of where I'm expecting that the bottom of the stock market is going to be, and that the end of the corrections will be done. Is once we can get ourselves right up here into this region. I do have a couple of short positions opened with the stock market. And unfortunately, yesterday, a couple of them did get stopped out. So I'd opened them on Friday, and then yesterday, a couple got stopped out. A few of them are still open. I'm not going to adjust them. They still have their stop set. And if that stock market goes up even 1% more, it will knock those out as well. So I'm expecting that we start seeing a bullish move in stocks and in crypto once that dollar can reach up to this level. Now you got to realize what I'm saying, because I know a lot of people say, how can you in any way be bullish on the stock market when the economy is in the absolute gutter? And man, believe me, I'm right there with you. I think what we are going to witness for the economy, for people like you and people like me, it is incredibly scary of what is coming in the near term. Um, but the stock market is not the economy. The stock market is the government's game, right? It's, where the Federal Reserve is just injecting money. Politicians are doing their best to try to, make swings in one way and swings in another way, and it's in no way representative of what's really going on. The fact that we've had this huge bounce in the stock market shows you that it is not reflective of the real economy, because if anything, the real economy has gotten significantly worse during the entire up move in the stock market. More people are getting unemployed. People are going to be losing their houses, losing their cars, defaults. It's going to be the craziest thing in the world. And not only that, if you really think about it, people have been in lockdown for about a month right now. And I think it's like 70% of people don't have enough money in savings to last them a month. The real effects of that stuff are yet to be seen, and we're going to start seeing them pretty soon after a couple months have passed, with people getting no income, not being able to pay for their cars, pay for their houses. And I do understand that there are some banks that are letting you defer payments right now, so that probably will help a little bit, but not for everybody. Some people will just abandon their cars. I'd read an article somewhere, heard somebody talking about it somewhere, that people are just dropping their cars back off at the dealerships who can't make their payments. They're just not even getting to the point where they're repossessed. They're just like, here, take it back. Um, so yeah, that's that economy, the real one that we live in. It does not look good. But the one for the stock market, the one where, and you know it in your heart with how many trillions of dollars have been in this bailout and how much has actually gone to the people, how much has actually gone to small businesses, how much has gone to you in your pocket as a, where's your 1200? I have started to see some Twitter posts saying that they are getting them, but who has really gotten them? I surely haven't. I checked my accounts this morning. They're not there. Um, but yeah, so I expect I expect them to continue playing the game, and the stock market will rise eventually. But where will the prices go to before that? That's what we're trying to find out right now. Sorry, I went on a rant there. Geez, I'm 15 minutes in here and I haven't even gone to the chat yet. Let me see if there's anything else I wanted to cover here. We covered literally everything. So really the main thing right now. Sorry guys who just tuned in and got to hear that rant. But yeah, so we're just kind of waiting on whether or not price is going to react right here, and we can get ourselves a breakout to the upside or break to the downside. And the level, if we do break to the downside, I'm looking to hold is going to be right around here. These lows that came in December 2019. That's where I will be accumulating. I am not in any way under the belief system that we are going to be setting new lows and being able to accumulate at lower prices. I fully believe this is the key level. So this is the altcoin market cap chart that I'm pointing at, which is about a 20% down move on the altcoin market cap. And that for me would be the best case scenario for further accumulation, or worst case scenario for those who are holding and have nothing for accumulation. And I can understand that too. So let's get back into it. Let me go ahead and check all this stuff here. Rabbidus Music super chatted $9.99. Thank you guys so much. And then Tony said he's done with Twitter with a $19.99 super chat. Okay, man, you answered my question. Yeah, because I was gonna say, hey, man, I want to help you out. Um, but I checked that this morning, and it showed that you weren't there anymore. The Purple Dragon super chatted. Thank you so much. And Susie Kusia super chatted. Thank you for all you do for our community. Oh, well, thank you so much. That support's insane. And like I always say, guys, it's so not necessary. If you just wait till I get through all of my rants in the beginning and get through my content, then I would love to come over here to the chat and see what's going on. So there we go. Let's head over to the chat and hang out. And you know what? There's a couple of reasons why I wanted to do a live stream today. One, I haven't done one in about a week, and two, I'm gonna start talking about my own stuff here. Here I go. There's this huge deal. As you guys know, I'm huge into coin roll hunting. I'm huge into like collecting silver and stuff like that, and I've been into that for a long time. Um, but they released the new 2020 quarters last week, and I've been like hunting everywhere to find boxes that have these 2020 quarters in them, because they have West Point mint quarters in them, and there's only 2 million of those minted, and they're really valuable. And if you can find a box of uncirculated 2020 quarters, then you can usually find those W mint mark quarters in them, and those W mint mark quarters are worth like 50 to $100 a piece. And yesterday I found 4 boxes, and I did open up one of them, and I did find 11 of those West Point mint quarters in there. So I've got 3 more boxes to go. And it's going to be a long day for me doing that stuff. So get to that after the stream here and after hanging out with you guys. But that'll be a cool little afternoon project for me. So let's go to the chat. Dan Alexandru George, hi blockchain backer. Thank you for all the videos. Really appreciate your material and most importantly, your state of mind. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, I have been through all of the emotional roller coasters that everybody is going through. I've been through all of them before. Um, and and it's not bragging, seriously not bragging, but that's 7 years of sobriety stuff. Um, you kind of learn that keeping your mind level is the way to live because just going through those emotional swings can really affect you, and you just have to live in. I say this all the time, how grateful I am for everybody for supporting my channel, and it's all about living in gratitude, and being appreciative, and keeping that kind of state of mind, and you can really kind of keep it level-headed. And then not only that, but just the things that I've done in my life. I've taken huge risks in my life. Um, and my track record for taking those huge, ridiculous risks is pretty darn good. And then they ended up working out. And when I look at this one too, I'm very analytical. I'm telling you, if I thought it was a bunch of BS, I'd back out. I'd back out. But I don't. I don't. I think we're like right on the brink moment. Jolly World, blockchain backer, I appreciate you, bro. Good times. Hey, thank you. I appreciate you for being here. Thank you. Joe Joji trying to let's see. Trying to minimize losses and maximize profit now isn't the best idea, in my opinion. I'm holding until markets recover and everything goes up. Also, all I'm doing is dollar cost averaging all the way. That sounds like a plan to me. Adam Shelton, thank you for the valuable content with the super chat. Thank you, Adam. Thank you. XRP rocks. You rock, brother. Congrats. For the love. Thank you very much, XRP rocks. BC backer for Alumidin Usamani. BC backer, if XRP goes up to $1 in June, will you really hold? Yes. $1 would not be a sell target for me. Not at all. I'd be holding right on through that. Let's see. Justin Adams, where do I find the video of you unboxing the quarters? Let me see. Right there, Wrapper Stacker. And I just uploaded it an hour ago. Right down here, found lots of 2020 W quarters while coin roll hunting new West Point quarters with V75 privy mark. So follow me over there or subscribe to me over there, Wrapper Stacker, and you can see that stuff too. Now this one, it gets like 2 videos per week. It's really just for my own entertainment. And oh wait, I have not shout out to my mods. Oh my gosh. Stevie Ripple, Drew DeRocco, Participation Trophy Wife. Thank you guys so much for keeping the chat safe. Thank you. And you know what? When I was out there rambling just 10 minutes ago, I saw you guys taking care of some people. Thank you very much. You guys are vital part of this whole live stream and modding everything. And I can't thank you guys enough for what you do for me. Thank you. XRP rocks with the super chat, 2.99. Thank you very much. And then Bobby D coming in. Looks like stock market rally stopped out right at 2007 highs. Pretty funny. What do you mean by that? I guess maybe your 2007 highs. Elaborate and I'll read. You don't have to super chat, man. I'll get to you. And then Joe G was going to waste more money buying woodworking tools I don't need. I'll save it and tip you instead. Oh, Joe G, no, man, buy your stuff. Thank you for the super chat, but man, no, buy yourself some entertainment stuff, guys. Keep yourselves busy. I saw, I forget because it was so long ago and I've been rambling so much. Somebody talking about, I think it was Dual Citizen saying he found a pond with a bunch of largemouth bass. I'm telling you, there's nothing. I mean, there's stuff that's better, but nothing. It feels great to catch yourself a 3-4 pound largemouth bass and hold that thing in your hands, hold that big old mouth. But yeah, thank you, Joe G. Thank you. Stay here in the chat. Okay, MoX36. Do you just follow the charts or do you keep up with the news as well? Here's the problem with the news, okay? I am way more focused on the charts. I would say I am 90 98% focused on the charts, 2% focused on the news, because the news is like so timed, and we all know that. I mean, it's like the catchphrase to call everything fake news these days, right? But it doesn't matter. All of it is. And there's no one side that is anything. Everybody's got their own agenda. It doesn't matter what you watch. It does not matter. Everything has an agenda to it, and that's included in financial news as well. And things get released at the right time when they're supposed to. And you see it all the time. One of the ones that really stood out to me, what was it? Remember when we were capitulating back in December? And what was it? It was something with like Ethereum Classic. And they were saying all the miners and Ethereum as well, all the miners are capitulating and selling. Remember, like all the ICOs are selling off all of their Ethereum. And it was like that final, like, remember that narrative? It's like, how would financial media even know that narrative? How would they even know that all ICOs are selling off all their Ethereum at the same time? And like everybody spat it out as fact back in December of 2018, and I was like, "Oh man, that sounds too perfect to like to be real." But and that's the truth, okay? And including when the China ban happened in the summer of 2017, the China ban on cryptocurrency occurred exactly where it was supposed to, right after the market had already crashed, retraced 702, and then right at the 702, boom, China bans cryptocurrency. So it's hard for me to take any news that we see anywhere as having any validity when you start seeing things show up on the charts and news happening right where it's supposed to on charts. So I think if you're like looking for a specific setup on charts, and then you say, okay, now we're waiting for the news. We've got the chart set up. When is the news going to drop? Then you get that news confirmation, and then you can like use that as a tool to say, yes, I'm right. You know what I mean? So I don't think if the chart doesn't look right, then the news won't matter. But if the chart looks perfect, then the news is used to explain away the chart. Boom. I hope that explained it. Bobby D. Sorry in financials, ticker XLF. Hmm. I don't know if that's a chart we're supposed to look at. All right. So I rambled a long time there and I probably missed a ton of stuff. Let's see. Charles Blackman. I don't think most people truly understand how significant this next bull run will be. Once it starts, I think logic will be useless and digital assets will extend beyond price targets. Go XRP. Um, but that's the problem with every bull run is that um, people just let go of targets, and I can understand that. And when things we haven't experienced that in a couple of years, and I know a lot of people in here haven't experienced that in a couple of years. What it's like when it starts getting really exciting. A lot of the news that comes out and a lot of the things that happen and the behavior, you'll start seeing it on television, them telling people to buy cryptocurrencies, and it will become really difficult in your own mind to convince yourself that you need to be selling, because if you really think about it, when it is the perfect time to sell is when it seems the most obvious to buy. And that's what we saw during the last bull run, right? You had CNBC teaching people how to buy XRP at the very top. So think about that to yourself for a minute. You're holding it, you're watching on television the financial media teaching the general public how to purchase the asset that you own. And you're thinking to yourself, oh my gosh, it's going to fly even further. There's no way I'm selling now. Everybody's going to buy. But that was actually the trap. That was the lure in. So, that's why I like to stick to the targets way ahead of time. And that's what I'll do is I'll stick to them. And, but, I won't sell everything, but I've always got my targets way ahead that I'm planning on going after. So let's see. Drew DeRocco, 750 watching right now with 166 likes. Hit the likes. Yes, guys, please hit the like button. No donations required. Just likes, please. Dual citizen. I'll buy more Bitcoin if it gets back down to 1,000 when I got in originally. Otherwise, I'm just adding to my XRP position. That's cool. I don't think 1,000 will happen. I could see in the threes happening again in this final accumulation, like maybe wicking down into the threes, maybe. But man, I've seen all those scenarios that people post of 2,000 and 1,000, but man, I just can't see it. One rough Rican donated super chat. Thank you so much. Participation trophy wife at Daniel James. He did a face reveal in an earlier video. Yeah, yeah. If you guys haven't seen my face, there's plenty. There's 2 or 3 videos that I've got out that have it in there. And then also, if you checked out Rapper Stacker, you'd see it in there too. And then also on my Twitter, go through the photos that I've posted on Twitter. It's on my it's in here too somewhere. Go down like 2 months maybe. It's in there. Dirty Goat 4156 at Blockchain Backer. You have the best intro. Man, I love my intro and I can't take credit for making that, man. That was made by a supporter of this channel. That was made by at Jude Hey2 on Twitter. James Pickrell with the super chat. Thank you so much. Thanks, BCB. Do you think utility will stabilize XRP at new all-time highs? No. Nope. Because that's just not how markets work. So let's say we do fly up to a good stable new price level, right? Well, speculation is going to fire the price way beyond what would be a reasonable stable level. So we'll exceed far to the upside of what a good stable price will be. So maybe the stable price is around $5, right? But the price fires up to 13 or 26 or something and then has to come back and find its stability price because speculation will fire it way past what a stable price would be. So I know that's like always the dream, right? We always want to and I'm not picking on you. This is just real life for everybody. We always want it to go all the way up to the all-time high and then stop, flatline and say that's it and we all have plenty of time to get out, right? But that's just not how it works. It just goes way up and then it'll come way back down. Let's go back in here. Kobayashi 1972 at Blockchain Backer targets 235, 13, 26, and 55. That sounds good to me. Yeah, that's what I've talked about. You've been paying attention. Those are the targets. So in 235, $2.35 is not actually like a sell target for me. It's something that I'm going to be watching very, very closely on if I need to sell any of it. So at 235, right, you kind of could just figure out what has been my total investment in XRP, and then you could take that off the table at 235, right? So let's say you put $1,000 in and your average price is 23 cents, right? So if you've spent $1,000, your average entry price is 23 cents, and the price finally gets to $2.35. Well, you could sell 10% of your stack. You could take all your money off the table from your original investment. You still have 90% of your stack, and you didn't pay anything for it. So it's just whether or not it appears that we're going to be get hardcore rejected by 235 as a retracement level for the bear market, or if we're going to continue higher. So I have not made any decisions on whether or not there would be a small sell there. And if it was a small sell, it wouldn't be more than 10%. And I don't even know if that will even happen. But those other targets, those look good. That's what we've measured out. So, James, I hope I answered your question, man. Thank you for the super chat. Charles H., what would be a life-changing amount of XRP to hold before the bull run? Well, that just depends. Do you live in a cardboard box? Do you live in an apartment? Do you live in a small house? Do you live in a big house? It's going to be whatever amount would upgrade your life. So for some people, it might be 30 XRP, for some several hundreds, for some several thousands, for some it might need to be millions. Just depends on what your current life situation is like. Let's see. Sorry, guys, I'm scrolling through the chat here. It's hard to keep talking and read at the same time. Um, Just Joe, where is your video on stacking silver? Go through my channel. I released it a couple of weeks ago. Obviously, I didn't expect it to get many views on this channel. Typically my videos get anywhere from like 10 to 15,000 views. That one only got 4,000 views, and I get it. It's because I was kind of showing a certain type of video to an audience that isn't really super interested in stacking silver. And not only that, like there's certain, if you're going to release a video, most people watch videos between like 8 in the morning and 8 at night. I released that video at like 11 o'clock at night. Released it at like the worst time, right? When people are sleeping. So that affected it too. And not a lot of people saw it. But if you go back through my videos, there's going to be stuff in there on um, how I have been buying silver during these high premium times. Again, I haven't bought silver in a couple of weeks at this point now. I kind of really went pretty heavy on it. I did get it really, really close to spot, but I haven't bought anything in a couple of weeks. And here, I'll throw that tip out there for you. That the stuff that you can usually get near spot right now, and I haven't looked in a couple of weeks, but when silver went down to 12, 13, 14 bucks, I was getting it near spot, is buying 40% junk silver, which is constitutional silver, which is like your 40% silver half dollars, and those Kennedy half dollars, and those 40% silver Eisenhower dollars, those Ike dollars. So call your local coin shops that you have, just Google coin and then try to find a coin store near you and see if they've got any of that 40% junk silver and try to buy that and see if you can get it near spot. And the website you go to figure out the price is going to coinflation.com, and you can kind of play around on that to figure out what you should really be paying. And if you can get anything within 5 to 6% of spot price right now, you're doing pretty darn good, because a lot of stuff, it's like, I haven't even checked lately, it's like 50 to 100% premiums on top of spot. It's crazy. XRP Tony Stark. I'm tattooing my sell prices on my blank and sticking them no matter what. 3, 6, 13, 22, and hold the rest long term. Thank you, Tony, for the super chat. There you go, man. Yeah, cool, man. I think everybody's got their own plan, right? As long as you have one. The worst thing you can do is be okay. Look, and I know I'm just gonna say it. The worst thing you could do it in the end is never sell any of it. Worst thing you can do is just hold it all and then watch the moment pass you by. Take a little bit if you have to just take a little. Wait, not financial advice. This is not investment advice, and I'm not a financial advisor. But yeah, for me, taking a little bit off the table for sure. When the time comes, we're nowhere near there. Like each sell that I do, when the time comes, it will be to achieve a specific goal in my life, because that's the only way you can really let go of it, right? Imagine this. Imagine you say, hey, I want to sell some of it and I can get $20,000 added into my bank account, and then you just put it in your bank account, right? It's going to be real hard for you to hold on to that and not say, let me just put it back in, and then make a mistake, right? So at every sell target and the amount that I sell, and maybe that'd be good advice for people, not financial advice, but maybe say to yourself, if I sell it here and I sell this amount, I can achieve this specific goal in my life. And that would make it worth it and make it so I don't regret selling, right? I am going to pay off my car and I will no longer have a car payment, and I officially own my car and nobody can take it away from me. I'm going to pay off my house. I officially own my house and nobody can take it away from me. It doesn't matter if the price keeps going higher. I now know that I own my house, right? Credit card debts, you know, owning more properties, buying that second house up in the mountains with the pond and fishing and iced teas, right? Oh, Crypto Hulk with the super chat. Thank you so much. You guys are too generous. I'll come back to the chat. I must be every time I see these, I'm like, oh, I must be doing a bad job reading people's chats. Um, and then Mayhem Media, do you still believe in the charts at the moment, considering the state of the world today, financially unstable? Yeah, I do. I do. Dan, Alexandru, George, thank you for the super chat. Should I continue to grow my XRP bag or try ETH as well, or Ethereum? Why isn't Ethereum in your crosshairs? Okay, I can't give you advice on that. Can't give anybody advice on when to buy or when to sell or what to buy or what to sell. And as for Ethereum, I own a small amount of Ethereum. It's not a ton, but I own some. For me, wrapping my whole head around why Ethereum is going to be something, it's hard for me. And I've been in this space for years and I just don't really get it fully on why Ethereum will be a huge thing. I know there's a lot of big names attached to it and a lot of projects and work around it, but I don't fully understand it. And for me to not fully understand it, I can't have it be one of my big things that I'm about with XRP. I fully get it. Fully. So I don't talk about Ethereum a whole lot, um, just because of that, not fully getting it. So let's go back to the chat. Gatsby, if XRP was pegged to gold in the future to keep it stable, do you think one XRP would be the equivalent to an ounce of gold? $1,700 prox or a percentage of that? I have no idea. I don't know. And again, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me because if the idea of it is that the more liquidity that moves through XRP, the higher the price needs to go, right? That kind of cancels out all of that when you start saying it's a stable coin and liquidity doesn't change the price. It's just pegged to gold. I don't think so. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. Wassam is Zach. Hey, BC backer, your content is great. I wanted your opinion on taking a loan to buy a large amount of XRP, a 5-year loan. If it doesn't rise, to sell a small portion to pay my monthly. Okay, my opinion on that is no, don't do that. That's dangerous. All right, Joe Montgomery. So if you believe it will be the standard, why ever sell? Well, if you don't ever sell, then you don't ever get any of the profits from it, right? What good does holding a bag of it if you don't sell it? And you could argue, well, you're going to spend it on something. Well, that's still selling it, right? Rick F. Goal number 1, Tesla. Goal 2 is a boat, and goal 3 is a house. Yeah, everybody's got their own goals. At my stage at life and what I've talked about, like remaining in gratitude and stuff like that, I'll just talk about my things right now, right? I mean, here we go. um, for me, it's not about getting nice, fancy cars. I think I would get a new truck, but it wouldn't have to be like a fancy truck or anything like that, just so I could like go camping more, um, drive all the way out to the beach or something, and go up into the mountains and do all that kind of stuff. A truck would be nice to have. I did used to have a truck. Um, and then I'd want 2 houses. I'd want one house in suburban America and one house in rural America. Just kind of a safety escape. I really liked watching To the Lifeboats video he did a couple days ago, um, about, talking about how when SHTF and having kind of those options and stuff. And I've always thought about that, and that's always been one of my goals, is having that extra house somewhere up there in the mountains with a pond or a lake on the property, hanging out on the porch, fishing, doing all that kind of just relaxing stuff. And that's more for me. When I was younger, having those really nice things and showing off and letting people kind of, see the cool things I have. Don't get me wrong, Tesla's cool. I don't really like driving very much. Having a vehicle drive for me would be fantastic, but I don't need it. So I'm really more focused on things that are just give me peace. Crypto Sifu, Saifu, and I can't believe this. You even messaged me on Twitter and told me how to pronounce it, and here I am messing up. I'm sorry. Your thoughts on selling versus utility spending via crypto debit cards and real estate? Um, I mean, technically it's the same thing. The only thing is when you're spending it on a debit card, you're not selling it at a specific price. I mean, you're still selling it at a period in time, right? Whether the price is going up or going down, you're just not having any type of concern about if the price is up or if the price is down when you're spending it. I'm gonna have more of a strategic approach on when I sell it. I'm out at a certain point for some of it, out at a certain point on some more of it. Zach Crypto, what's your opinion of XRP designed for being priced at 10K with one drop being equivalent to a penny? This is my personal opinion. I don't see that happening, or getting close to that. If I would be 100% out before we ever even came close to any of those numbers. I would be 100% out before it ever got to 1,000. So let's see. One might not need to sell here. American do. One might not need to sell once institutional grade custody becomes a thing. One could potentially live off the interest generated on the total funds held. Thoughts or corrections? Everybody's going to do it different, but in the end, the same theme I keep kind of seeing here is everybody kind of being like they don't want to let go of it once the price starts skyrocketing, right? That seems to be the general theme of a lot of the questions that I'm getting is people saying they don't want to let go of it when the price actually does go up. And in my opinion, the thing I will be doing is I will be letting go at some point. Mr. Honda, hi BCV, thank you for all your great videos from Japan. Thank you so much for the super chat. All right, let's go through here. So here's a question from John Mine. What do you think about XLM? Do you own XLM? I own a tiny, tiny, tiny amount of XLM. And it's one of those bags that I had filled a long time ago, and I haven't touched it since. It's nothing to be proud of, the amount that I have. I don't follow XLM a whole lot because in the end, it's just like XLM and XRP tend to kind of flow together on the charts. Um, and XRP just makes more sense to me, at least everything I see. I don't see enough about XLM. And then only that, they did that coin burn thing a couple of months ago, right? Where like the foundation like drastically increased the percentage of total supply that they own by doing the coin burn. It made it seem like they were helping everybody out, but in reality, you actually lost a percentage. It's kind of trickery. Oh, XRP rocks. Do you ask the teller for 2020 quarters when you go into the bank? Nope. You have to buy a big old box of them, open it up, and find out if you got them or not. Alamuddin Usmani, what do you think of Brad Garlinghouse? Hey, this is a good question, right? So, okay, first of all, I've never met the guy. I have no opinion, no like real things to say about Brad. But here's something I noticed that's real interesting about Brad. and we noticed it in 2019 a lot, is that every interview that Brad Garlinghouse went on, his job was to talk down Libra. And I found that so odd. Every single television interview, his job appeared to be to talk down Libra, which was in line with the government's opinion, right? It was kind of like he was the spokesman for talking down Libra. And it just led me to believe that, okay, Brad is on the inside. And if you really think about that for a minute, you can actually have conflicting opinions on whether or not you like that or not, by the way. But like I always talk about, I'm positioning myself on the right side. And when I talk about that, I think the stock market will eventually bounce and go on to create this really ridiculous bubble that's Fed injected. I'm not saying that because that's the right thing that should happen. I'm saying it because it's what I see occurring with all of the bailouts. So I'm trying to position myself on the right side. Not saying that it's the moral right side of what should happen. It's not what should happen, but it's what appears to be happening. And I see that Brad Garlinghouse has positioned himself in line with the government's views, and that he was somehow on every financial interview channel, website, television show. His job was to talk down Libra. And it made me think this guy is actually part of it. And for an investor, that's a good thing. Again, that's my opinion. I have no proof of that. Hey, and I want to say this too, man, because I see Kevin King talk about it, that crypto YouTubers, XRP YouTube, people who talk about XRP on their YouTube channels must be paid by Ripple. Man, that would be so sweet. I don't get a penny, man. I've never talked to these people, but oh, it would be so sweet if they were just giving me $1 million a year under the table. Gosh, that would be awesome. But it's not happening, guys. I'm not a rich shill being paid off by Ripple. Although that would be cool. But don't think I'm compromised, right? I've never talked about any of the other assets or anything like that. I get people inboxing me all the time wanting to pay me to do stuff. Never. I've never been paid a penny to shill anything. This has 100% been my opinion on this channel, and sometimes it's conflicting, right? People sometimes don't like what I have to say, and that's why I say what I say, and I don't get paid a penny to do it. I mean, I get a little bit of ad revenue, right, which is garbage. But these super chats are nice. Thanks, guys. Not necessary, though. I do not do it for this. I do it because it gives me an opportunity to kind of hang out with you guys and chat with you guys and be in here with you. And then there's some days where I'm really busy, and actually coming on and doing a 1 hour live chat is takes a lot less time than it does to put together a 10-minute video. 10-minute video may look like it was thrown together quickly, but that usually takes 3 to 4 hours to do. And then you spend all morning uploading it, and then one of your first 10 comments is "You suck." You're like, God, man, I just worked on that all morning. Paul Zaris, is the price of XRP suppressed as some suggest in Twitter? Well, I mean, sure, you just throw on the weekly time chart and you can see how low the price is. It's way down here, right? I mean, the strength has been pushed all the way to the bottom. It's definitely suppressed. Arthur Devram, when is the bull run thesis crypto falsified? I mean, at what price can we sell everything and forget about crypto? Are you talking about it breaking down, or are you talking about it going up? That's hard, man. That's hard. For me at this point, it's hero or zero. There is no selling down here. There is no selling at what people are calling for, 8 cents, 10 cents, or whatever. There's no selling down there. And if 8 or 10 cents breaks down, I expect it to go way lower. But I'm not going to sell to find out. I will ride it. But yeah, for those who are tuning in and weren't here at the very beginning, obviously we're checking to see if this price is going to be holding or not, or if we're going to break through this 50-day moving average and work our way on up to the upside. And that goes back to looking at these charts right here, which we discussed in yesterday's video on how on the left side we have the Bitcoin correction that occurred back in 2014 and 15 and the structure of it, and over here on the right side we have the altcoin market cap chart and the structure of it, and that you could see for the most part when this big fall down, the final fall down occurred, which was strong. For the most part, this was the level that really held it. So we're expecting if there is still further accumulation going on, like we see right here, that this would be the level that would hold. And for me, that would be where I would be accumulating a little bit more. Crypto Sifu with the super chat. I just want to say thanks. You do a great job, and I've learned quite a bit in a short time. Thank you so much. I appreciate you and your messages and your support. But okay, guys, we are now hitting 55 minutes. And this is always the point where my throat kind of starts to go a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and start shutting it down. And Stevie Ripple right there, hit the likes, guys. Come on, give it thanks for his free advice. Not financial advice, just opinions. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and shut her down. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If I missed your message that you said in chat, I'm so sorry. I was never intentionally ignoring anybody. There's so many of you, and I'm grateful that all of you show up here to watch my channel. Thank you for all the super chatters, the new member, and just hanging out and chatting with me. I really appreciate it. And all my current members, thank you so much. So thank you for watching. Please like this live stream and give it a thumbs up. I really do always appreciate that. I always say that I appreciate that so much, and it's the darn truth. I really do. The thumbs up mean a lot to me. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. That way you can be notified when I create new content and when I go live. And man, you know what's crazy? I've been trying to keep quiet about it, but man, this channel's almost at 20,000. That is wild, man. Wild. 20,000's right around the corner. Might get there within a week or something. Holy moly. Thank you to all my mods for taking care of business in here and my members and you guys. Uh, thank you. I appreciate that, especially in mods too. You guys do that for free. You guys don't get anything for doing that. You just do it to support the channel. Thank you. Really. All right. So here we go. As always, this is not investment advice. I am not a financial advisor, but if you ever need a pick me up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the blockchain backers got your back. Have a good one.